ready? I was ready.
B.W.O. 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 Brothers with opinions, now we spreading the word. In this world, things get hard cause we been blinded by ignorance, man. Fear the unknown to progress is a hindrance. Silence is consent, so let your voices be heard. Man, we brothers with opinions, now we spreading the word. Bringing light to the dark, revolution is an art. Man, a lot of people talk, but they ain't never walked apart. Gotta shine a light on poverty and fight against injustice. And always speak the truth when the enemy.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's another Sunday. Beautiful day. Last day of the NFL Sunday. Some big games on the tickets today, but nothing better than that Winchester love between the Stars down there in dirty Dallas and them Washington Redskins, baby, or Commanders, you know, whatever they call us, but just put that W for win today. Anyway, we're going to do it live like we usually do with my man Tony, Mr. Twin, myself. You guys already know they slave Zeb every other weekend, so he's over there on the clock. But we're going to get after it and start with that local news with Mr. TD in the building.
Okay, Chris, let's go. We got the local high school basketball scores, and I'll start with Monday earlier this week. We had Warren County defeated Hilton 68-48.
Where's Hilton out at? Northern Virginia?
Hell if I know. I'd have to look.
It's like Woodbridge area or something, ain't it, Wayne?
I'll figure it out.
Wayne will look that up. And then Nelson County defeated Sharando 55-49.
Who was it?
He's asking where Hilton's at.
Nah, who beat Sharando?
Oh, Sharando.
Nelson County. I've never even heard of them.
Nelson.
I've heard of them. I think they might be from West Virginia.
It sounds like
they're, yeah. And then Handley defeated Eastern Mennonite 88-35.
Like they just be smoking teams.
Hilton High School is in Woodbridge.
Look, see, I was right. That's what I'm saying. CD Hilton. That's a surprise they're playing them.
And then, so moving on to Thursday until there was next local games, he had Strasburg beat Warren County 70-55. And then on the Friday night slate, it was Handley defeated Light Ridge 56-40.
That was Jermaine.
Yes. Shout out to
Jermaine Walker, baby. J-Dub.
He had them boys ready, man. They came to play.
For real? For real?
Yeah, they played great. Like Light Ridge isn't that great.
But not that great? And he had them ready to against y'all.
I'm keeping.
What was the score, Tony?
56-40.
So y'all only won by 16.
By 16.
And that Nelson County, they're located out of Livingston, Virginia.
Wow, we were wrong, and I ain't never even heard of Livingston.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, where is that at? That's wild.
Livingston, Virginia.
Yeah, I've been around Virginia a long time. I ain't never heard of it.
Yeah, it's new to me. Never heard of them. So that's your local scores, everyone. And then upcoming high school games.
No games yesterday?
No. I believe there was none yesterday. On Saturday, nothing. So I lost my train of thought. Yeah, Handley plays James Wood this Tuesday, and then Friday, the big one everybody wants to see is Handley versus Skyline. And that'll be at Handley. So that's your upcoming games there.
Handley needs to smoke them boys. Get them out of here.
James Wood? Oh, Skyline.
They better not sleep on James Wood, though. Michael Bell and them be over there. They ready. They got some big kids.
Honestly, I'll just keep it real. Yeah, James Wood, that game, it won't be close at all. Handley will smoke James Wood. Sorry, Bates. And he'll have them ready, but it's just the talent disparity. You know what I mean? And then Skyline, I feel my prediction for that one is it'll be close, probably in the beginning of the game, but then Handley will just be and pull away.
It's looking like Livingston.
That's my prediction.
Livingston's around, like, it's in between Charlottesville and Lynchburg.
Man, they got a kick.
Yeah, it's
which
about
is crazy because
Sherando,
I lived in Lynchburg for 5.5, 6 years, and I ain't never heard of that.
and that's who Sherando played?
Yeah, they play Sherando.
Dang.
And some other surrounding cities is like Roanoke, Lynchburg, Charlottesville, Stanton. It's like right there in that mix.
Mm-hmm.
It's on I want to say Route 29, somewhere off of Route 64.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, big ups to all the local schools, though, man, stepping outside their box, playing teams that are really not in their area.
Yeah, now I'm kind of questioning when Zach was on and he was saying, man, I'll put my schedule up against anybody. Shit, I got to look at Sherando's schedule.
Yeah.
They seem like I got to compare schedules here. It seems like Sherando playing some competitive teams.
Yeah, but it's smart to play outside
Nelson
their box.
County, I ain't gonna lie, we've never heard of them, so I don't think they're that big.
It
Yeah,
can't
what
be
are
that
they?
big.
That's
you know what I'm
that's the
saying?
thing I got to look into. Like, are they?
But Charlottesville, when is that Handley Charlottesville game?
Oh, that's in a couple weeks. Give me a second.
Wayne, you going to that?
What's that? Charlottesville
When
and
Handley
Handley?
play Charlottesville?
Is it at Handley?
No, I think it's it's going to be at Millbrook. That's what they have listed
Oh, well, that's
now.
right there.
At Millbrook?
Yeah, it's still they play on the 25th, and they haven't
Millbrook?
listed.
Is that an invitational?
No, I don't know if it was like a neutral site or.
But it'd be a home game for Handley because it's right there. But that's weird that they wouldn't let them play at Handley.
Yeah, I don't understand.
That's
So
gotta be
anyway,
like a
it's
neutral-
as of
like
now.
Tony said, it's got to be a neutral site thing.
So
Has
yeah,
to be.
So
Why would you drive across town when you got your own gym? Like, kind of makes no sense.
Like you say, unless something's going on at Haley that day,
Could be possibly, yeah.
and they can't play at this. Yeah, and they got
Who
to go.
knows? The girls might be playing that day. You never know.
Yeah.
So
That's the 25th, Chris. That's at near the end of the month when they play them.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm. So, and
Big ups to Millbrook for opening their doors for Handley.
yeah, they should have just took that neutral site at Shenandoah, unless Shenandoah.
yeah, there you go. Should have got Shenandoah's too.
But
They
see,
should
that's
have
what
went
you
to
got to.
UVA.
That's what you got to think, though. The availability of the gym. Like, you never know what's going on that day. That's probably why they scheduled it somewhere else. So,
Right.
I think Handley has a concert that night. Actually, Justin Garber's band is playing.
Justin Garber's back there to play.
He might be. Hey, shout out to Justin Garber though. Bridget, he's doing his thing. Got an album out and everything. That's somebody we have to have on the show.
Yeah, before we get into these NFL playoffs, I want to give a shout out to my Chicago Bulls for knocking off those New York Knicks last night.
Oh,
Yep.
shots fired.
Hey, I ain't got nothing to say. Jalen Brunson had 28 at halftime and finished with 33. So Levine and them all end up with 33. I was like, damn, it was a wild game. But big win for the Bulls. Yeah, that's bad for the Knicks. And guess what? Shout out to somebody who's ranked number 5th in the podcast in the area.
Oh yeah. Who would that be?
My New York brother over there, because I'm a Chicago Bulls fan, so I had to give him a little bit of love.
Yeah, so who would that be? We're ranked 5th in all of the Wink area podcasts, Chris.
Yeah, brothers with opinions.
Yeah, so everybody, thanks for the support. Yeah, we're 5th.
Keep it up.
It's
Thanks
wild.
for all the support.
Behind 2 church groups, and at 1st and 2nd, 3rd is a local real estate podcast, and 4th there's local musician podcast.
Mm-hmm. And then us.
So we
must be doing something right.
Brothers with Opinions podcast. We need all the likes, subscribes. Keep showing us love, man. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
We're going to go ahead and jump right into this NFL playoff action, baby.
Well, do we want to do NFL or college first?
We're going NFL, baby. Let's roll.
Okay. If you want to go NFL first.
Because today's the last day of the regular season.
All right. So jumping into NFL, we're going to discuss the playoff picture. So AFC, we have, as of right now, you have the Bills. Or I'm sorry, there you go.
The Chiefs are first.
The Chiefs are right now at the bye. Bills, Ravens, Texans 4, Chargers 5th seed, and Steelers 6th seed. So scenarios, me and Chris were discussing this, is the Bengals won last night on a 5-game winning streak, and they need Denver and Miami to lose to take that 7th spot from
I'd
Denver.
like to see Cincinnati get in there.
Because Denver's in the 7th spot right now. Oh, I'd love to see Cincinnati get in there right now. Because to me, I think they're one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now.
And I'm pretty sure any team will tell you that's probably one team that nobody wants to face in the playoffs is Cincinnati, because we know they've been struggling on defense, man, but their offense is pretty high powered, man. So
they can put 40 up in the game.
Their offense is very scary. Like we say, I don't think anybody wants to play them right now. I mean, people found out they beat Pitt. They've knocked off Pittsburgh. I haven't looked at their last few games, but they're on a 5-game winning streak. Shit, Pittsburgh's on a 4-game losing streak going into the playoffs.
Oh, so they lost that game last night?
Yeah.
The Bengals.
I didn't stay up for that one. So.
Yeah, yep.
But yeah, man, the Bengals, man, they're playing some hot ball right now, man. And we all know Joe Burrow leads the league in passing, but like the defense sucks. That's why he's got so many passing yards. But Joe Burrow is still a top 5 quarterback in this NFL. So,
I mean, bro, he's leading the league in passing.
Well, he's leading the league in passing.
He's leading the league in passing. He's only throwing, I think, 9 interceptions. He threw one yesterday, so 9 total. He's balling. I mean, we can sit here and say, like, oh, it's just because they play from behind. But honestly, the Bengals pass. That's all they do.
Yeah, they do
barely
pass.
Run the ball.
They do pass. They have a good running back that they can get in the mix with Chase Brown. But a lot of Joe Burrow's yards this year has come from them playing from behind a lot. So,
well, yeah,
I mean, big up.
Tony, you put him over. You put him over Patrick Mahomes. Would you rather him or Mahomes on the Dallas
right now?
Yeah, yeah.
Burrow is balling, but no, I take Mahomes.
Okay, so
I hate dumb.
Would you rather have Lamar on Dallas or Burrow?
Oh man, that's tough. I like both of them. I mean, that's tough. God, I take Burrow's what? Lamar seems to choke in big moments. I mean, I'm being honest.
We're talking about right now. Who would you rather have?
Burrow slightly over Jackson's got to win the big game, man.
Well,
Burrow hasn't won the big game.
Well, I'm gonna have to disagree with Tony because, like,
Burrow's been there.
If you look at Lamar playing this year, it almost looks like a video game. So the game has actually really, really slowed down a lot for Lamar, man. So it'll be interesting to see if he still plays at a video game level when the playoffs come through.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But what I've been seeing all year from Lamar, dude, his IQ has gotten way better. He's reading defenses a lot better, man. He's putting balls where only the receivers can get it. I mean, he's showing me like it's a different Lamar than the Lamar that we've seen in the old days throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, so, I totally agree with you. I think Lamar has grown as a player, and he's just, he's unbelievable to watch.
But Josh Allen or Burrow?
What I'm getting at is in the big moments, he hasn't came through. You know, like usually he plays like his worst games.
Do you want Josh Allen or Burrow?
Man.
But here's my thing.
I'm going Allen.
With those big moments that you're talking about in the playoffs, the years that he got bumped out of there, he really didn't have any weapons. Now he's got an arsenal of weapons around him, man. Mm-hmm. We got Bateman playing at a high level.
Flowers.
Hopefully Flowers is okay.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely got –
because he tweaked that knee.
But what's his biggest weapon, Lamar Jackson? His legs.
Of course.
So a lot of times in the playoffs,
that's what makes him dynamic.
You know what I mean? To me,
but he's never had somebody like Derrick Henry. Now he does.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
They might dominate.
So he can prove me wrong. I'm just saying he hasn't won.
I mean, and I know some people, they'd be like, oh, well, he has Derrick Henry. That's cheat code. But I'm like, if you look at the history, everybody that wins, they had a squad. Like Aikman had Emmett and Irvin.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting
Joe
at,
Montana had Jerry Rice, Ronnie, Roger Craig, and John Taylor and all of them. Everybody has a squad, and that's how you win. Football ain't like basketball. You need a squad to win.
And then they turn around and gave him
the ultimate team sport.
But then they gave him 2 good receivers in Bateman and Flowers, but they got to learn the game. You know
those still ain't, even though Flowers made the Pro Bowl, those still ain't top 20 receivers, none of them.
Not in my eyes, no.
They're not.
I don't think so.
Who, Flowers?
Yeah, they're not top 20.
You don't think he's a top 20 receiver in the league?
No, but I'll tell you who has 2 top receivers, Burrow.
Who?
No, I believe
he's give you your top 20.
I believe he's a top 20 receiver, but his consistency level is just not there. Like
We're
there'll
not
be
going to go
games.
down the line because 20 is a lot, but
It
trust
is.
me, when y'all start thinking about the Jamar Chases and Justin Jeffersons and all of them, you're going to be like, and the numbers are going to keep going. You're like, shit, he ain't better than DeAndre Hopkins. He's not better than Devontae Adams. And you're going to keep going on and on. I'm like, yeah, it's close.
Well, I disagree. He's better than Hopkins.
No.
Yeah, like now, yeah, I love Hopkins. He's one of the all-time greats.
I love
I
Hopkins,
love
too,
Hopkins, but age is catching up a little bit.
right.
So yeah. But I love DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, DeAndre's a freaking beast, man. Like,
So who do you feel is coming out of the AFC?
Well, who did the Dolphins play? In New York Jets?
Yes.
So who do y'all got winning that game? Wayne, you have Jets, right?
I think the Jets, yeah, I think the Jets will
Jets
win.
and Dolphins game.
Now that I hear
I'm gonna have to take the Jets because the Dolphins don't play good in cold weather, and I don't think Tua's playing today.
So that game's up here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that game's up top.
But you're right. I think the Dolphins don't win in cold weather. It's like known. When it's like below what, 4, it's some crazy
And the Jets
statistic.
would love nothing more than to end their season with a highlight of knocking out Dolphins so they don't make it because they're from the same conference.
Yeah, it's some crazy
Same division.
statistic where the Dolphins can't win when it's below 40 degrees.
Right.
So we're all projecting or predicting that the Dolphins win. I mean that Jets win.
Yeah, I think the Jets
All
win.
right, so Dolphins
just because
are out.
it's in New York.
So the Dolphins are out. The other one is Denver. And who does if Denver wins, they're in. So who do they play? The Raiders?
The Raiders, I believe,
The
right?
Raiders.
Where at?
Where do they play them at?
Is it Denver or Oakland? Vegas?
Let me look that up real quick.
The Raiders.
Raiders have won 2 in a row.
They're playing in Vegas.
I got the Raiders.
And the Raiders play the Chargers, bro.
So who's playing Denver?
Who plays
Denver.
the Chargers?
The Chargers and the Raiders are playing.
Oh, who's Denver play?
Denver,
See, so the Raiders could win it because the
Denver
Chargers
is
are
playing
already
Kansas City, but Denver's playing them in Denver.
Denver plays Kansas City?
Yep. At 4:25
Kansas City's
today.
not going to play Mahomes and them because they've already got first place, right? Or what if they lose? If they lose, can Buffalo take first?
No, the Chiefs are 2 games ahead.
Buffalo's already got 3 losses. They're 13-3. So,
so then the Chiefs are going to sit Mahomes and
Yeah,
Kelsey.
they're going to.
I mean, if they're smart, I would because they already have the first round bye locked up and home field throughout.
Oh, they will. They will play the whole game. So who comes out of that? Because Denver's got to win to make the playoffs.
So Denver's going to beat them. Is it in Denver?
It's actually in Denver.
Denver wins.
I'm going to take Denver in this game today.
But sometimes you get that where it's a division foe, you want to knock them out. So maybe kids.
The Chiefs might be like, let's just play Mahomes in the first quarter, get 2 touchdowns, and then let's go.
That's a tough one, but shoot, it looks like I don't know.
But Denver's defense is lit.
Since he might be
very
out.
lit, and they got two good corners, man. They got a good front seven. That's what's kept Denver around, man, for this little playoff.
Yeah, they got Pro Bowl starters on their team because they're nice. They defense.
Yeah. I mean,
like that.
Not to take anything from Bo Nix and Cortland Sutton because they've been balling on the offensive side, but Denver's really there because of their defense, like Chris said.
Oh yeah,
so Denver wins, they're in. So then we lock Denver into that last playoff seed in the AFC.
And with that being said, though, Chris, I'll throw one name out there for Defensive Player of the Year from Denver, and that's Patrick Surtain.
Yeah, he's a beast.
I like that.
So
you remember his dad?
Oh, hell yeah. Come on now.
His dad was nice when we was young.
That explains why Patrick turned out the way he was.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
but there's still seeding implications today. Like the Chargers can switch seeds, the Steelers can switch seeds, but they're both in the playoffs already.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, man, because like Seattle's 9-7, but they're already eliminated, and they play the Rams today.
We need the Rams to lose.
So that's interesting. So the Rams, did they beat Seattle both times this year?
Well, then they don't play Seattle today.
I don't believe so. I think they split.
You think they split?
I think they split.
That's interesting because Seattle is 9-7. All right. and the Rams are 10-6. So if Seattle beats them today, they got the
They'd be
same
tied,
record.
but Seattle's out.
But Seattle's already eliminated, so the
The
Rams
Rams
must
probably
have
swept them.
they must have swept them
Yeah, they
this
had
year.
to.
They had to
A
because
better
they're already
division,
eliminated.
yeah. Or just a better division, or that's what they go by first, division record.
So we'll be rooting for Seattle in that game, the Washington Commanders fans.
Well, Chris, and Wayne, I'll say this: it's like so AFC teams that have already clinched, they're in regardless. It's Kansas City at one; they're the 1 seed.
Well, let's start from
Buffalo.
conference. Let's start from conference to conference. We'll go east, north, south, west first.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
we'll do the east.
Well, I'm just saying who's clinched right now.
Right.
Like to predict these games, like Baltimore's already in.
Yep.
Houston Texans have clinched.
Yep.
The Steelers have clinched, and the Chargers.
But they haven't clinched their seeding, the Steelers or the Chargers. They can flip flop.
Yeah, they're seeding.
Nah, they just clinched a playoff berth.
I know. So I'm wondering what's the actual who wins, who gets what seed? Because you know what I mean.
All right, I've tried to give you these scenarios. I have it up.
Nice.
Listen. All right, so the Steelers, how they can clinch the 5th seed. This will answer. The Chargers have to lose to the Raiders. Okay, the Pittsburgh could clinch the 5th with a win, so they didn't win. They lost, but now they must wait for the outcome of that game. So they will clinch the 5th.
Yeah.
If
Steelers can get as high as 5. Tony's right.
Yeah. All right.
And
so now
as low as
Cincinnati,
6.
there's only 2. What they have to have, they did their job last night. They beat Pittsburgh. So they need a Denver loss
And a
to
Miami
Kansas
loss.
and a Miami loss.
Which Miami probably will lose. And if Kansas City sits their starters, that might screw Cincinnati. Because Denver could possibly win that if they sit their starters.
Yeah.
If Denver wins, they're in, and they're locked into what, number 7?
Yeah. So Denver wins.
7.
So Denver controls their own. They win or tie. They're in.
So the 5 and 6 seed is interesting because it's between the Steelers and Chargers, and depending like Tony said, the outcome of wins and
That
losses,
one game, yeah,
that will fluctuate. Whereas the Steelers go 5 or 6, and same vice versa with the Chargers.
And the rest of the teams we're talking about, like Miami has a chance. How the Dolphins can clinch a playoff berth is a win and a Denver loss.
The Steelers control their destiny over the Chargers, right? If the Steelers win, they get the 5th.
Steelers lost last night.
They lost last night, so the Steelers need help today. They need the Chargers to lose.
I just said that they need the Chargers to lose to get the 5th seed.
But here's the thing.
And the Chargers play the Raiders. And I don't see that happening.
No, I don't. Yeah.
The Raiders will win?
No, I like the Chargers to beat the
But
Raiders.
what's interesting is...
So Chargers would go to 5, which is what they would want, because then you go to Houston compared to Steelers. If you finish 6th, going to who? The Ravens?
What's
you have to go to the Ravens.
No, you don't. But the Steelers also know they can beat them, and it's a divisional game. But yeah, that is interesting.
The Chargers pretty much control their own destiny. They just got to win.
Well, the thing is, like I just said, they've clinched though. Do they rest theirs? They already know they're in.
Nah, because
would you rather play Texans would you rather play Texans in Houston or against Lamar and Derek in Baltimore?
Exactly.
I mean, true. But you don't know
I'm not sitting my starters. I'm
throwing the question out. Yeah, all right, wait.
No, we get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're asking you. Which one would you rather do?
I mean, I'm playing to win. I don't want to. My thing is, I don't want to face another like a division opponent, your division rival,
right?
And to play like to me, knock them out. Like the Chiefs playing. Who? God, that's what they get. Chiefs are playing who? The Broncos. Like to me, I'm going to like, hey, I want to win it because I don't want to see the Broncos in the freaking playoffs. I want to knock them out.
Which is why I said maybe the Chiefs play Mahomes in them first quarter and
that's what
get some lead.
Yeah. So,
but that defense is so good, it ain't going to be easy just to jump a hit up like that.
Oh, right. Yeah. They're one of the top defenses.
And the Chiefs haven't been blowing nobody out like that this year. They figured out how to win games, which is that you can't knock that. I don't care if they've only won 10 of their games by 3-5 points. They've won them.
Yeah, they win. They pull it out. That's the key.
So,
and me, honestly, Houston sitting at that 4 seed, they're really not, in my eyes, a 4 seed, bro.
They started out hot this year.
But see, that's why I said to you guys,
division winner. That's why they got that 4th spot.
Yeah, but that's why I said to you guys, like off camera, like, so the NFL needs to come up with a new theory, man. Okay, don't take nothing away from divisional winners. give them an automatic playoff berth. But once all the berths are solidified, then you realign it based off of records. Because me personally, I don't think Houston deserves a 4 seed. And we can talk about that over in the NFC here in a minute, like the Vikings. You know what I'm saying? Between the Vikings and the Lions, one of them are going to have to go on the road for a playoff game.
Probably Tampa.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're like punishing teams for playing great throughout the regular season to have a road game. You know what I'm saying? So it's not making sense. The NFL
I can
needs to
see. I
switch
never
that.
thought of that. So you still don't punish the division, but then once the seeding comes, you just go off the record.
Exactly.
How they're seeded.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
That's how you seed the teams based off of record-wise. Yeah, we give them a berth because they won their division, but just because you're 9-7 don't mean you get a 3 seed.
But then I'm all for, at the end of the day, then scratch the NFC East, the AFC East stuff. Just NFC, AFC. Those top 7 teams go.
Yeah,
Because
same theory.
sometimes, like the Rams and Seattle and them, they've won their division at like 7-9 before when we had 16-game seasons. And like you said, and there's a team that could have won 10, 11, 12 games, but they didn't make it.
Right.
Yeah, I've got snubbed out the playoffs.
So that's why I'm like, but then it would come back to people, oh, the history, man, our division, NFC East or whatever. Like, we understand it, but man, it's not fair if you look at it, and the times have changed.
It's not
like you're
fair,
saying,
man.
Wayne, put the 7 best records in, and that's it. Roll.
Yeah, like I keep using the Vikings, for instance, man. They've had a great season this year, man. But they're probably going to have to go on the road in the first round.
But they should dominate. But at the end of the day, Tampa Bay can put up points.
But we all know, like, playoff atmospheres are different. When you go on the road into somebody else's stadium, the atmosphere is completely different. It's louder. Like, you just don't have that home field advantage. You know what I'm saying? But Minnesota should have that home field advantage because what are they, 13-3?
Could be 14.
Yeah. So
no, they're both 14-2.
14-2, my fault.
14-2, right?
14-2.
One of them's going to finish 14-3, which is a better record than anybody else damn near in the league besides the Chiefs and maybe Detroit or Minnesota. One of them are going to have 15.
Right. So the NFL's got to look into that, man. Like it's kind of wrong. You're punishing great teams for playing well.
Oh, I totally agree. I've been saying it for years. Just put the best 6, 7, however many you got in the play. Go by record.
Yeah. So,
and then if you look at it, then if they don't want to do that, okay. So the Bucks finish 4th, and just say Minnesota finishes 5th, but that game still gets to be in Minnesota because they have a better record.
Right.
True. Yeah.
And I picked that as my game of the week. Lions versus Vikings today.
Well, it definitely is.
Yeah.
They both have to win to get first.
It's a lot at stake. Exactly.
Can you imagine saying that you've won 14 games this year, and you've still got to play hard in the last game just to win?
Yeah, right.
And be like, and then be like, well, our opponent also won 14 games. That don't happen
wild.
like that.
I don't ever remember 2 teams in the same division that having that good a record.
That's what I'm saying.
The top 2 teams in the same division.
But they have to battle hard in the last game of the season too. I got Detroit. It's in Detroit.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like, no, I think that game's in Minnesota, bro.
I'll look that up. But I'll move on to the NFC now.
No, Chris is right. It's in Detroit.
So since we're speaking of NFC teams, so we'll speak of the NFC conference. Already 6 teams have clinched, and this is all your scenario. So Detroit's in, Philly's in, Minnesota's in regardless, Green Bay, Rams, and the Commanders. So your scenarios today.
Who's that team you just said? The Commanders.
You know what the hell I just said. So today, Atlanta and Carolina play. So how the Falcons can clinch is win, and they need Tampa to lose.
I got Atlanta winning that game.
But they need Tampa to lose. So Tampa plays New Orleans.
I got Tampa winning that game.
So in your eyes, they're in. So they win, they're in. If they lose or an Atlanta loss.
Hey, I'll take it because Tampa's one of our few losses this year.
So that's your 2 fighting for a playoff spot, Tampa and Atlanta. And then
but we gotta honestly sit here and think. Okay, the 3rd and 4th seed will definitely be wrapped up between the Falcons, the Rams, and the Bucks. Now, you're going to sit here and tell me out of those 3 teams, they're better than the Lions and the Vikings? See, this is where I'm going back to that theory of they need to reseed this stuff, man. So out of that Vikings and Lions game, if you win, you're the number 1 seed. If you lose, you drop down to 5.
Yes. Yep.
Like that's
Or
crazy.
do they drop to the 6th? Or is it lower than that?
No,
it's
they'll go
fifth.
to the 5th seed.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So they'll either get the 1 or the 5th. Yeah, because
The
then
1 or the 5,
card.
which will put the Commanders at a higher seed than either one of them.
Because see, what's so funny is
No, we're not at a higher.
Wade, you make a
We're
good
6 or
point
7.
because what's so
Oh
funny,
no, my bad, 6 or 7.
because what's so funny is the top 4 are division winners,
Right.
automatic.
Right.
All right. Then once it gets to the last 3 wild, then they go by record for the wild card spots.
Why?
So
It's like the format of
Because they're like,
playoffs.
you win your division. That's how it's always been. They're going to say that you automatically get in. So those 4 in, and then who's the 3 next best records, and that's what they do.
yeah.
But you're right, as far as being like, well, if you win this more games than the other team, but they'll be like, well, that's the way it's always been.
Yeah, well, change is always good. Sometimes it's for the better.
Yeah, I don't know why they haven't changed.
So who gets the? I mean, we know the Vikings,
But
know
we
the
still don't
Vikings.
even know who's 1 seed. On the last Sunday of the season, we don't know who's the 1 seed.
That's what I'm getting at. The last scenario is Detroit and the Vikings.
Yeah.
Win, you're number 1 seed, home field
I
advantage.
got Detroit
Lose, you're the 5th seed. That's just both of them.
I have Detroit. It's at home. They're hungry, and their coach is amazing. He's going to have them boys fired up.
Hey, vice versa with the Vikings, though. Team is good. They got a great coach. Hey, man, this is why this is the game of the week, man. This is what we look for every Sunday, man.
Mm-hmm.
Games and matchups like this.
So who gets in your eyes? We know Detroit, Minnesota. Who gets in, Tampa or Atlanta?
I'm going to say Tampa.
Because they're going to play the bum-ass Saints.
I'm going to tell you right now, I would not want to see Atlanta in the playoffs, bro. Like,
really?
They don't deserve to be there.
Oh, I thought you said you wouldn't want to see them. Like,
The Saints.
I don't want to watch them as a playoff team because they suck.
Oh, yeah, they're too inconsistent.
The Saints might do what they're good at and rally, and they're going to rally behind that killing and stuff that happened on New Year's Eve.
Oh,
Whatever.
shit.
True.
They might rally behind that and be like, this is my fucking city. Like Big Papi said for the Red Sox, and they might feel it. And that energy might be crazy.
Chris,
is it in New Orleans?
Is it in New Orleans?
I believe so.
I think you're right. I want to say New Orleans.
If it's in Tampa, it's over. But if it's in New Orleans, man, they might really rally on that.
No, it's in Tampa.
It's over.
Tampa wins. Tampa needs to make, because to me, I love Baker Mayfield, and I've always liked him. Browns are idiots getting rid of Baker Mayfield.
So your
look
second
what he's
seed,
doing.
we don't know the first yet because it's that game of the week. But the second seed is automatically Philly.
Yes,
they locked up. Yeah,
automatically.
They already have they're locked. The rest of the seedings aren't
locked.
The third seed is
the third is not.
No, it's not.
If the Rams lose and the Bucks win, the Bucks become the third seed.
Yes, none of the other seedings are.
And the Rams are playing at Seattle. And Wayne, your question earlier, they've only had 1 game so far, November 3rd, and the Rams won. So if Seattle wins today, Seattle should be able to make the playoffs.
Nah, they can't make the playoffs because they must have been swept by the Rams.
They can't. They play the Rams today.
Interesting.
The Rams are 1-0 against them, so I'm confused about that. If they win today, if Seattle wins, they have the same record, and they would be 1-1 against each other.
Chris, to answer your question, these are the seedings that are locked. Like, they won't move. These teams. Kansas City is the 1 seed in the AFC.
No, not the AFC, NFC.
Well,
he's giving you a rundown of both.
I'm giving you a rundown. AFC. Kansas City is at the 1 spot. Buffalo is locked into the 2 seed, and Houston is locked in at the 4 seed.
Yeah, in the AFC, the top 4 seeds are already locked.
No.
Yes,
the 3rd seed's not locked yet.
Yeah, Ravens.
Because they had, as of this, it could either be Baltimore or Pittsburgh, which is typically, it's going to be Baltimore.
Look, it's right
there.
Okay,
I'm sorry. You must have updated.
The Chiefs have the number 1.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The Bills are locked in at 2. The Ravens are locked in at 3, and the Texans are locked in at 4. So 5, 6, and 7 is the only thing that can fluctuate in the AFC.
Yeah. All right, you have mine's not updated. My fault.
No, you're
fine. So what I have is NFC seedings are locked, and
we didn't even finish with the scenarios between the Rams, the Commanders. Like there's changes. And who's the other team? Tampa Bay and stuff. Because one of us can be 5, 6. I mean 5, 6, 7. So none of us will be 5. But between the Commanders, the Rams, and the Bucks, we can switch between 5. I mean between 6 and 7.
Yeah, you guys can get the highest Washington can get is a 6 seed.
Which means that we would go on the road to Green Bay.
Yep. Right. Yep. Because the scenario could be.
No, but we want Green Bay to lose then. The Rams to finish third, so we can be sixth, and we go to – I'd rather play at the Rams.
It's so much to keep up, but what can happen is the difference is, Chris, what you're saying is Washington can finish the highest at the 6th, and they'd have to – they get a home. Green Bay would come to them.
No, we wouldn't get a home.
Or am I wrong?
The thing is, if we finish 7th, we automatically go to Philly. But if we finish 6th,
oh yeah, what about that?
Who finishes 3rd, and we would either go to not St. Louis. Where do they play now? The Los Angeles Rams, or Green Bay Packers.
Yep.
I would definitely not want to go to Green Bay because it's different in Lambeau. I'd rather fucking go to St. Louis or wherever the Rams play at now.
Los Angeles.
The Commanders definitely want the 6th seed. You don't want that 7th.
Yeah,
the 7th is going to Philly, which is a rivalry game.
I don't know. I mean, I think either or. I just keep it real. Commanders or Green Bay can knock them off.
And we're 1-1 against Philly this year, and the time they beat us was only by 6 points.
But as a Commander fan, I would rather play the Rams than Philly.
But would you rather play in Green Bay or Philly? If Green Bay gets 3rd, we either going back to Philly or we going all the way to Lambeau.
Green Bay gets 3rd.
Green Bay can't get.
They can't get 3rd.
Oh, they're 5th.
They can only finish 6th or 7th. That's it.
That's wild. And see, they have more wins than us.
And the reason being is because of the Vikings and the Lions being 14-2
being
apiece.
so good. Okay, yeah, that's
right,
wild.
You got that? Because all right, Chris, your division, like we said, it's either Detroit or Minnesota, the 1 seed. Philly's locked in at 2. The 3rd seed is either going to be probably the Rams or Tampa because they're going to be a division winner, and then.
Oh, so we definitely want the 6th because we can go to either one of them to beat them.
So then the 5th, like Wayne just said, the loser of the Minnesota Detroit is going to get the 5th seed.
So we wouldn't have to worry about Green Bay until the 2nd round either.
Yeah. So then that bumps you guys down, Washington and Green Bay, behind Minnesota, the last 2 seeds.
But what I'm trying to understand is how Seattle's already eliminated, though.
If they beat the Rams, if they beat the Rams today, they're tied.
They're tied, though. That's what I'm saying.
And they would be 1-1 against each other. Right. So maybe the Rams have been 4-0 in their other division games, and they have a better overall record no matter what in the division today.
It has to be divisional record. Yeah. It has to be, man. So we'll check it out real quick. Let's see. Divisional records for their conference. That's why, bro.
Yeah,
they've got to be
division record.
The Rams must have it locked.
Nah, man. The Rams are 4-1 in their division. Seattle is 3-2 in their division. So if they beat the Rams today, they will both be 4-2 in the division. That's why I'm kind of
because it comes down to probably head to head and all that. Who won the
head to head? They would be 1-1.
The Rams would be 1-1 against each other if Seattle wins today.
I don't know.
Everybody in the NFC is eliminated but the Rams.
Gotcha.
So I'm trying to figure.
But do you want to see Seattle in the playoffs anyway?
I'm going to think.
I'd rather see the Rams.
You know, I think why Seattle got eliminated is because the NFC North has 3 teams in the playoffs. That's how Seattle gets bumped out of there.
Oh, because the one division. Yeah, you're
because
right.
Of that one division. It has to be. You know what I'm saying? Because if they win today and they're both tied, no matter what, the Rams are automatically in, bro.
Yeah, they're in.
Yeah. They
can sit their starters today.
They are going to sit their starters. I heard this morning that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be throwing the ball for the Rams today.
Oh, Lord. Jimmy G?
Jimmy G is going to have a sighting today, bro.
All right, guys. So we got to move on. All right, real quick. Who comes out of the AFC? Who's in the Super Bowl?
I'll let Chris go first.
Who do you feel comes out of the AFC?
I want to look at how it's going to be seeded, because if you say like if you have to play Ravens and Buffalo to get there, that could be
Right.
tougher than if you have to play somebody else.
Who is your
So-
pick to
so
come out of the?
We'll
I
do
want
it. We'll
Lamar
do
and
it like
Derrick
this.
Henry to go.
All right, so Baltimore.
We'll do it like this. We'll make a pick today, and then on next week's podcast, when we know the
We'll
final
be able to see
seedings,
it.
then we can switch it up if we
I'm
want to.
I'm picking Lamar to shut the world up, including my brother Tony, and say I'm gonna get into the big game and probably gonna win it.
All right, who you got? So who's facing Baltimore?
Battle of the Beltway, baby.
Oh,
Surprise with Jaden Daniels surprising everybody.
you homer! Come on now.
Hey, that's going to surprise everybody. This first rookie going to take his team to the big game. But if I had to pick somebody besides this, I want to pick Zeb's team. I would love to see Detroit get there too.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Wayne, who do you have?
And they've never been.
Super Bowl prediction right now.
All right, so we all know that AFC's got probably 3 of the top quarterbacks in the league, possibly 4. We got Mahomes, you got Allen, you got Lamar, you got Burrow.
And Burrow's not even locked to get in yet. We want them to get in.
Right. I'm going to go ahead and eliminate the Bengals because of their defense. The Bills, they keep on saying that Josh Allen is the MVP of the year. You know what I'm saying? But we got to stop and realize also Josh Allen has a running back that leads all running backs in touchdowns this year, and James Cook with 14. So with that being said, if they don't get no help in production out of that backfield in Buffalo, they won't make it. So with that being said, that leaves me with 2 teams, the Chiefs and the Ravens. And I like the Ravens this year to overcome that obstacle because I believe Lamar's got a lot more records, a lot more weapons this year to pass that ball around to. And coming out of the NFC, it's going to be a tough one, man. I like either the Lions or the Vikings. But if I had to pick today, I'm going to say Baltimore versus Detroit.
That's what I picked.
Well, I'm still with my original. I've said this a few weeks ago. I'll just keep it short. It's Buffalo and Detroit. To me, if you have to go through Buffalo, they're the second seed,
right?
And Baltimore has whoever.
But Buffalo would have to still go to Kansas City.
Maybe
they don't know about barbecue like that down there.
But I don't think I think Kansas City gets knocked out.
But here's the thing,
that's my big. I think they're going to lose.
But here's the thing: if
they're not making the AFC Championship,
Tony might be onto something because if Buffalo does end up playing Kansas City, out of every AFC team,
they're cold weather.
Buffalo has played Kansas City the best out of any AFC team.
They beat them already this year. That's their only loss.
Exactly. So
hard to do it twice in one season when you don't.
It is.
Like Mahomes might come out and be like, "Look, I ain't getting me this time."
But I just think it's going to catch up to Kansas. What we were talking about earlier, they've played these close games, like squeaking them out. It reminds me of Minnesota that one year when they were like a good 14, like they lost 1 or 2 games that year, but they were
what do we
out.
always talk about? And
it's going to catch up.
What does most people always talk about? All the analysts, the professionals and stuff. Lamar can't win the big one. Allen can't win the big one. Blah, 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 blah. Right?
Yeah,
the reason being is because of that kid in Kansas City and their team, Andy Reid and them. That kid, Mahomes, no matter what, them close games I just told you about, they figured out and found ways to win every single one of those games except for Buffalo. So the reason Lamar and Josh don't have any rings or nothing like that yet is because Mahomes already got 3 of them things.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm piggybacking off what Wayne said.
It's tough.
To me, playoffs is a different atmosphere. And I understand Kansas City, they've won.
I'm saying Lamar and Josh,
they're not the same. They're going to lose.
This is separate from that, though. But Lamar and Josh get hated on so much. But I'm like, but the dude in Kansas City won all of them damn near been. So, like, it's tough for those other 2 kids, man. I get it, but they're playing the team that's just this dynasty.
Well, to me, this is the year they get knocked off. They're not making the Super Bowl. It's going to be
so I'd rather
Buffalo
see the
or Baltimore.
and the Bills in the Super Bowl, but they can't do it. You know what I mean?
I mean, only time will tell, man. I mean, you can never count, like Chris said, a guy that's already got 3 Super Bowls.
Of course. Out. But I just
and the other thing that you got to take into consideration also, Tony, is Kansas City's healthy now.
Yeah.
Offensively and defensively.
Well, is Pacheco back?
Boy, isn't the Ravens?
All of them are back. All of them.
But
Hollywood Brown, Pacheco, all of them are back.
Okay, but isn't the Ravens healthy in Buffalo?
Yeah,
Like
but they don't have Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and they don't have a team that's been in 4 out of the last 5 Super Bowls. So that experience factor is crazy.
I understand. So you're saying,
and it has to go through Kansas City. They've done enough
every
to
game.
win those
I gotta
games.
change your pick there because now you make it sound like nobody's going to beat Kansas City.
No, because
it's a tough road, though. I get what Chris is saying because every game has to come.
Lamar finally gets out that. Oh, he can't win it. As you think, like Josh Allen's going to finally have that year, he can't win.
Yeah, I mean it's close.
But I think Lamar having Derrick Henry this year will be the X factor. That dude, just hand that dude the rock when y'all need to just run the clock, just take the toe on the other defense. Chris Jones and them going to have to bring a whole lot to Mr. Derrick Henry. That ain't easy.
And then once you get focused in on Derrick Henry a lot, man, then you forget about players like Flowers, Andrews, Bateman, Likely. Like Lamar's got some weapons.
Andrews is an unreliable type.
And if you've noticed, man, the Ravens have been playing a lot of double tight end sets, man.
And Tony, how hard is this for defenses? I'm about to hand the ball to the left to Mr. Derrick Henry. You're gonna have 6 to 8 people ready to go. Oh my God, it's Derrick Henry. We got to gang tackle him. And then Lamar just the other way. See you.
Bootleg.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah, straight bootleg.
Well, it's read option is what they run.
Of course.
But now that you have the best running back.
Yeah, it's
like,
you gotta account for
Saquon too, but you know what I mean? That's tough.
Yeah.
We're lucky as teams of fans of other teams that he don't have him a CD Lamb, a Justin Jefferson, or somebody. If he had one of them kind of guys, oh man, it would definitely be over.
Who's that?
Baltimore's got
Lamar. If he would have a receiver like one of the great
Flowers is nice.
Man, he ain't Justin Jefferson and CD Lamb and Chase.
They're like you're naming like the top 3 wide receivers in the fucking league.
And look at their quarterbacks though. So we're looking. He had one of those weapons. Now it would be super ugly. Lamar ain't never.
You're not giving Zay enough credit.
Zay's a good receiver, man, but
he's not a number one.
I get what Chris saying. He's not that solidified true number one.
Hey,
you got to think about it like this, Tony. True number ones, like the names that Chris has been saying, they still get their numbers.
Didn't think CD
they
was
still
a true
get their
numbers.
numbers.
Yes, they did. They drafted him with that.
No, they did, but a lot of people were saying because of his size and is CD truly a number 1 wide receiver, and he had to prove it.
They're not asking that now.
Go back. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying the same thing about Zay. I'm saying the same thing about Zay Flowers. I'm taking up for Zay Flowers. I think he's nice.
So you trade CD Lamb and take Zay Flowers?
No, I'm just saying you all are giving the boy enough credit for how good
he's good. He's not that guy.
You're like he ain't a top 20 wide receiver, dude.
He's not.
He's top 10 in the league.
I don't go all by stats when people do that because there's the eye test. And
neither do I.
Everybody has different offensive lines, different offensive coordinators, different quarterbacks. That makes a whole lot of difference.
Debate, everybody, to our fans out there. Is Zay Flowers a top 10 wide receiver in league? And I give us some feedback.
Please give us feedback because I always go off of numbers don't lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're never going to see this out of Chase or Jefferson. Like, week 4, Zay Flowers had 1 catch for 10 yards. Week 7 against the Bucks, he had 1 catch for 11 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Week 11 versus Pittsburgh, he had 2 catches for 39 yards. And previously, hold on. And Cleveland yesterday, he had 1 catch for 12 yards. And the week before against Houston, he had 2 catches for 31 yards. That's not a true number 1 receiver.
But is that Zay's fault or is that more the offense?
No, it's Zay's fault because in all those games that I named, he still got his targets.
Yeah.
So,
but Tony, that's why I just told you that I don't always go straight off stats because there's differences when you're depending on what system and schemes you're in and that. But he's not no top 10. Are you crazy?
No, he's not. In my eyes, he is. He is a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL.
And this year, he's only had 5 100 receiving yard games. 5.
We can do 10 real quick, Tony. You're not taking him over CD Lamb.
I'm not. I know that. I'm defending the young man. I mean, the boy, he made the Pro Bowl.
I'm going to defend Tony. Yes, he's a top 20 receiver. Is he a true
No, he said top 10.
No, I'm not going to agree with you on top 10. I'll say top 20. So
We're going to come out with our top 10 in the NFL, and let's see if I have Zay Flowers. I might take these words back. I might be, oh, shit, I forgot about this guy.
I mean, but we got tight ends that is playing better than Zay.
Like, I don't think
we're
Zay
saying
Flowers over Nico
receivers, though.
Collins.
The tight ends
and
a
Nico
different
Collins
position.
got hurt this year. He's outside of the top 20 stat-wise.
Yeah, he hurt. He got hurt.
But I agree with Chris.
He
He's
still
not
made Pro
better
Bowl,
than
Tony.
Nico.
He's big. And then Nico's nice.
That's what I'm saying. He's higher than Zay Flowers to me.
So to me, is it
Olube's higher than Flowers.
Yeah, Nico Collins, I said top 10 wide receiver. I didn't say top 5.
Nico's not top 5.
Oh, that's tough. Nico's nice.
He's not top 5 yet. Dude, Justin Jefferson and Chase, they're number 1 and 2 no matter what, right?
Of course. Of course.
Oh, your top 3 is Lamb, Jefferson, and Chase. Those are your top 3 right off the rip.
He ain't better than McLaurin.
Shit.
Not those 3. I'm talking about fucking Nico and them. They're not better than McLaurin. McLaurin made Pro Bowl too.
I know. Look at McLaurin's stat. Like, I love McLaurin too.
And he's playing with a rookie quarterback.
Well, I can make an argument about that final third spot for the top 3. Yeah, Tony always wants to, ride on his Cowboys with CD, but we can't leave St. Brown out for Detroit, bro.
We always forget about him.
He's beast, and he plays with a dude named Goff, and he ain't no Mahomes in them.
but I'll give Tony 10 receiver names right now that are better than Flowers right now.
AJ Brown.
Are you ready,
AJ
Tony?
Brown.
I'm going to go. Chase, 1. Jefferson, 2. I'm not giving you the order. I'm just giving you 10 receivers.
Names.
So Chase, Jefferson, CD, St. Brown.
That's 4.
AJ Brown.
5.
Puka Nacua.
6.
Nico Collins.
7.
DK Metcalf. Not going off of numbers. Going off of receiving. Tyreek Hill. That's 8.
And real quick, what did Tyreek Hill and DK Metcalf do this year?
We know.
What is DK Metcalf
I'm not going off of this year's stats. I'm going off of just strictly
I put
talent.
Zay above those, not above
Zay's
Hill.
better than DK?
Yeah. What has DK Metcalf done?
Man. All right, I put it to you like this.
I would rather have DK than fucking anybody besides Justin Jefferson and Chase.
Give Lamar DK and send Zay to Seattle.
Yeah. DK gonna be way up there.
like Tony, I get what you're saying. You love your Flowers. You like to hand them out to everybody.
That's it.
He's
I'm
not,
just trying to,
he's
y'all are
not
dogging
a
this
true
young man.
number 1.
Yo, Flowers is nice. DK's a different specimen.
Yeah, he's just. But
if he ever gets a real quarterback, it's over.
Yeah,
dude.
And
DK Metcalf he don't even have a 1,000-yard season this year. In 17 games.
We get that. But then you got to start thinking about players that were injured, why they didn't get their stats. Like, I'm going to tell you another name out there that's way better than Zay Flowers, and that's T. Higgins.
Yep, they got 2 number 1s and
okay, top 15.
Top 15, I'll give it to you.
Maybe it was a strip, but
hey, look, I'm not taking no Flowers away from Flowers. He's good, but is he a top 10? No.
All right.
Top 10 receivers are consistent, bro. Those are the receivers that go out there no matter whether they win a game or they lose it. You look at that box score, they still got good numbers.
What about Mike Evans?
Mike Evans is another one.
He's a beast. This guy's done something nobody else has done since he started his career.
Right. Well, this is a debate about receipt for another week. We'll make a list or something.
Yeah, we're going to have to, because statistic-wise, Tony, Mike Evans right now is 28th in the league. But we know why he's 28th, because he had injuries.
Oh, I know.
You know what I'm saying? So injuries have a lot to do with people's numbers. That's what allows certain players to make Pro Bowls because of their numbers.
Well, yeah. We all know that. It's all numbers. Just like the MVP is just, that's a popularity contest.
Right.
Okay, Tony, what about Debo? What if Debo had a consistent quarterback?
We're moving on from this.
I'm over Debo. Debo's falling off, man.
Yeah, Debo, I'm with Wade.
Debo got some other stuff off the field going on. He's dressing like a girl, and I don't know, man.
Debo has not been showing up here lately.
Debo is the Dwight Howard of the NFL, bro.
Like, he's not been talking about consistency. There's no consist with Debo Samuel
at all. And I'm gonna throw one more name out there just because he's from the AFC. Is Flowers better than George Pickens?
After watching George Pickens last night, I'd say yeah, because George
I'd
Pickens was
rather
dropping
have Pickens.
everything.
But Pickens and Flowers, no lie, Pickens and Flowers, they're kind of even to me.
Yeah, that dude, Pickens was dropping everything last night. Dude,
Because of the same right, though, I'd rather have Lamar than Russell Wilson right now.
Oh, yeah, of course. But I'm just saying.
And for the first 4 or 5
don't
games,
blame Russell Wilson
Justin Fields.
Don't blame Russell Wilson for that fucking loss last night because Russell was dropping dimes and Pickens, at least 4 that I can think of right now, he dead in his hands and dropping them.
Yeah.
So don't blame Russell. He was putting the shit on the money. And even Andrews had a big drop. So it was, the end of the game when they needed to get that 4th down, hit him right in the hands.
If I was Washington and I could choose between Zay Flowers and Marvin Harrison Jr., I'd take Marvin Harrison.
I
would. Not hating on
Well,
Flowers.
I just look at
There's a lot of talent in the league.
the potential.
If I had to choose one of them right now, I'm taking Flowers.
Flowers
Because
has showed us. Well, what's
But
wrong
we
with
got to
Harrison
move on,
Jr.?
man, because we got to get into some football today. So you know what's coming now, man. It's your boy's favorite part of the show.
Oh, Wayne's pick 'em.
Hey, it's Wayne's Pick'em. Let's get it.
All right, let's hear it.
So today,
I'm ready. I'm writing them down.
Today's the huge day. All playoff implications today riding on Wayne. Y'all put your money up.
hey, ain't no 8 legs today. I'm doing every game today, baby. Let's go.
Every game.
We're taking the Titans, or no, we're not taking the Titans. We're taking the Texans over the Titans.
Can I ask you something?
What's up?
Can you put a little prediction of your score for those games?
No.
Since it's the final week. It's the final week.
It's too many games for me to predict the scores, man.
34-20.
To get back to our viewers, when the playoffs start, I'll start predicting scores because it's fewer games.
All right.
It's too many games for me to be giving out every
Yeah.
score. So we'll do Texans over Titans. We'll do Falcons over the Panthers. We'll do a must-win game for the Buccaneers over the Saints. The Bills beat the Patriots in a close one, believe it or not. I'm going to take the Colts over the Jaguars. I'm taking my Commanders over Tony's Cowboys today. Taking the Eagles over the Giants, even without Eagle starters. I think that was a fluke last week from New York Giants. I'm taking the Packers over the Bears. I'm going to take the Seahawks over the Rams today, only because the Rams are not going to play no starters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the Jets over the Dolphins because Dolphins don't play well in cold weather. I'm taking a must-win for the Broncos over the Chiefs in Denver today because I believe the Chiefs will sit their starters. I'm going to take the Chargers over the Raiders in a must-win game for the Chargers. 49ers, Cardinals, don't nobody really care about that game, but I'm going to take the Cardinals over the 49ers. I'm going to take the Lions in a close one of the game of the week over the Vikings. I'll predict that score for you. It's going to be 37-34 Detroit.
That's a shootout.
That it?
And that'll wrap up the games for Sunday.
So, Wayne, according to you, with all these wins, this is the playoff scenario. Lions clinch the 1 seed, and Vikings are the 5th.
Yep.
You said the Bucks will win, so they're in the playoffs.
Yep. Atlanta gets eliminated today, even though they win.
Yeah, so Atlanta will be eliminated according to Wade. So Bucks will make it, and Denver makes the playoffs.
That's
because
correct.
They win and knock
And
out.
the only reason why I'm saying Denver makes the playoffs because I don't see Andy Reid playing his starters, man.
I get that. I see that. So then that means Cincy will be knocked out in Miami. Well, Miami's already out. I don't think they can make it.
Miami ain't going.
Yeah, I don't think. So, okay. Well, great show, fellas. And until next week, everybody, Chris, you're muted right now. You trying to say something? No? So, all right, everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. And, unfortunately, we were supposed to have my brother, Jason Dinges on, who's the host of Lost Rhetoric podcast, but he came down ill. So hopefully, he starts feeling better. We can get him on next week. So everybody, please, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, like Chris and Wayne were saying earlier. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the big platforms. And hit us up and, give feedback. Whatever way you want to be a part of the show, let us know.
Yeah, type them letters in, B.W.O. If you can't find it that way, it's Brothers with Opinions, baby.
And like I said, congrats to all 4 of us. Zeb, he'll probably be on next week, but we're top 5 in the area pocket. That was some great news that we received. So, okay, fellas. All right. Until next week, everybody stay safe, and we'll talk to everybody next Sunday. Later.
Shout out to Tony, Bullet, LA, and all them Dallas fans today, man. Y'all enjoy that
silence,
game.
revolution televised. Ain't no good in private. Not knowledge to the ignorant. Ain't never been bliss. Stand up and be heard. We the new activists. Yeah, brothers with opinion. Let the convo begin. You know communication key, but then you must comprehend. Preach B.W.O. Let your voices be heard. We enlightened by the truth, and now we spreading the word. Let's go. How do we learn to live when we conditioned to die? Most people fail before they start because they don't ever try. Man, they told us we was worthless. We believed in the lie. We took it way too literal when Big said ready to die. You know the KKK turned the cops in disguise. Man, a lot done changed